I'll start that again. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the College of Arts and Science. I'm going to just start by sharing my screen. Megan, did you get your screen situation sorted out?
I like to think that I did. We'll see in time.
Excellent. We'll see. Okay. So, welcome to the College of Arts and Science. We're going to start with some introductions. My name is Erin DeLathauer, and I've been working at the university for a lot of years, almost 14 years, and in the College of Arts and Science for many of those years in a number of different capacities. And I did do my undergraduate degree, my Bachelor of Arts degree here many years ago in philosophy, and I absolutely love the College of Arts and Science because I think it is one of the best places to explore many, many, many different interests that you might have while you're aiming for a degree. So that's me. I'm going to pass the talking stick over to my colleague Megan to introduce herself a little bit, and we'll move on from there.
All right. Thank you. My name is Megan. I coordinate learning communities and first-year programs in the College of Arts and Science. I too, like Erin, have been a part of the College of Arts and Science for a really long time, and it is quite possibly my favorite college. I have an undergraduate degree in urban planning from the College of Arts and Science, and I have some other credentials. I completed studies in education, and I have a certificate from the School of Public Policy, but arts and science will always be near and dear to my heart. I don't know, I can't see Sahil on my screen, but Sahil, here's the virtual talking stick. Over to you.
I'm not sure if he's here.
All right, I'll take the talking stick back. Okay. Erin, over to you.
We will introduce Sahil when he joins. It says I'm connecting. He's connecting. He's currently connecting. He's in limbo at the moment, but hopefully he can join us soon, and we'll be able to introduce. He'll be able to introduce himself when he does. Okay, so actually, Megan, it's over to you because we're going to get you to go through what we're planning on doing this evening as part of our U Start.
All right, we'll give Sahil some time to join us, but when he shows up, he does support the Learning Communities team and the recruitment team in the College of Arts and Science, and he'll pop into the chat when he is available, and you're more than welcome to interact with him throughout our time together, asking him your toughest questions. He also usually has some pretty good jokes, so quiz him on those. But today, we're going to introduce you to the College of Arts and Science. So the college landscape includes what is really great about the College of Arts and Science, what makes us unique, and why you should study with us. Degree types and programs in the College of Arts and Science, and registration in courses. Hi, Sahil. I'm going to finish the slide, and I'll give you the talking stick. And then afterwards, I'll talk about learning communities, which is something that I work very closely with, and I was a part of in my first year several years ago. A little more than several years ago, but I'll introduce you to the first year learning experience learning communities, the Indigenous Student Achievement Pathways Learning Community, and then the University Transition Program Learning Community. And then we'll wrap up with some next steps, chatting with a student and the summer challenge that you will soon be invited to. And then we'll remind you what's coming up after our welcome session. So you will have the opportunity to have a live Q&A with a current student. Ask a staff member, so Erin will be there, Sahil will be there, I will not be there, but you can interact with each other as well. And then following the live Q&A, you will have the opportunity to meet with an academic advisor in a group setting to learn about those degree requirements, planning your semester, and choosing your courses. Sahil, we've done introductions, you're up. Uh-oh.
Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. I apologize everybody for being late, but online has its problems with the web. My name is Sahil. I'm a current student in the College of Arts and Science. I'm going into my 4th year of a degree in psychology and have actively pursued other majors in the past to switch over now to psychology. Thanks, Megan. Let me give it back to you.
I think it's back over to Erin. Yep.
It's over to me. Yeah. So a little bit about the college. We're just going to start off with just a few fun facts, I guess. The College of Arts and Science is really quite unique in Canada. It is really one of very few places where both the arts and the sciences are studied in one collegial environment. And that really allows students to be innovative and creative and take classes from all different areas. It also allows faculty to think outside of their own disciplines and work together in interdisciplinary ways and really find the solutions to the biggest problems that we face in this world. So you're in a really interesting environment by being a part of the College of Arts and Science. It's an old college. It was established in 1908. So there's a long history of interdisciplinarity in this college. There are more than 60 different areas of study. So if you don't know what you want to pursue as a major, that's okay. There's lots of room for choice with 21 different departments. So Sahil mentioned that he is pursuing a psychology degree. So there's a department of psychology. I said I did a philosophy degree, and that was through the Department of Philosophy. Megan did a regional and urban planning degree. That was through the Department of Geography and Planning, and so on and so forth. There are roughly 10,000 current students in the College of Arts and Science, just to give you an idea of the scale. So in a university, at the University of Saskatchewan, we have roughly just over 20,000 students who attend, and roughly half of those are arts and science students. So it's a big college, the biggest at the University of Saskatchewan. I'm going to turn it over to Megan to talk just a little bit about, or no, I'm sorry, to Sahil, to talk just a little bit about what you can gain from the College of Arts and Science. Go ahead, Sahil.
Thanks, Erin. So yeah, you guys might have this question in mind, and I know I did when I was kind of starting off. So obviously, the first thing that you can gain, I'm thinking what a lot of you guys are looking at are degrees. So there's bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, PhDs. So you guys can really be studying here for a long, long time, your whole career if you'd like to. And the other thing beyond that is you guys can also look at certificates, which I know Erin's going to be touching on a little bit later. There's the Cocurricular Record and research experiences, experiential learning, which I'll kind of be going over in a little bit, which are really, really cool. And then Megan's going to kind of round us off here with learning communities, which are near and dear to, as she said, her heart and my heart as well. So I'm going to pass it. And Erin's.
Working on learning communities for a long, long time. So
I know, I'm sorry. And I'll pass it right back to you, Erin, there.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Where are we here? Of course, my slide isn't advancing. This happens always on this slide for some reason. Oh, there we go. Types of degrees. I'm going to talk about this. Megan, do you want to switch, or do you want to talk about the types of degrees?
I would be happy to talk about types of degrees, but I think you would be equally happy to. In the College of Arts and Science, we have different types of degree programs that you can enter or access. The first is that Bachelor of Arts. We have a Bachelor of Science degree, and new this year, we are offering a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Sciences. We also have the best of both worlds called a Bachelor of Arts and Science, which combines arts and science half and half into one degree. We have specialized programs in music, the Bachelor of Music, as well as the Bachelor of Music in Music Education, and we have a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. So you'll notice that there are some starred degrees. Those are 3-year bachelor's degrees, which is 90 credit units. A credit unit is that mysterious 0.3 at the end of each course, and that is the academic weighting. So for many students who come from high school, one class is 1 credit. We have one class is equal to 3 credits. So 90 credit units, a 3-year degree, can be achieved in 3 years if you're taking 10 classes in a year. So that's 30 classes for your degree. And then the 4 years or honors degrees are 120 credit units. And 120 credit units would be 40 classes in total.
Perfect. Okay, so across all of our degrees, there are some requirements that you're going to have to complete in order to complete your degree. So these are requirements that courses fall into. So for Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts and Science, and for the BMAs and BFA, all of our degrees require a college requirement. So what this means is that all of our students in arts and science have to take a quantitative reasoning course, an English language writing course, and an Indigenous learning course. And those 3 classes make up the college requirement. In addition to that, there will be breadth requirements. So like I said at the beginning, the College of Arts and Science is a broad and diverse college, and we encourage all of our students, no matter what your major is, to explore multiple different disciplines. So the breadth requirement will ensure that you're taking classes outside of your major and outside of your area. So if you're a science major, if you're majoring in, say, biology, you're going to have to take some humanities and social sciences. And if you're, a philosophy major or humanities major of some kind, you'll have to take some sciences and some social sciences, and you might want to take some fine arts in there as well. The cognate requirement is going to consist of classes that are not in your major area, but they go alongside your major in a complementary way. So you'll have to take some courses that fulfill this cognate requirement. Then there's your major requirements. So these are the courses that are in your major. You'll be taking the most courses in your major of any kind of course that you'll take. That was poorly worded. And then there's your electives. And electives give you quite a bit of freedom and choice. Electives are basically any arts and science class. There are even classes outside of arts and science you could take as electives, but certainly any arts and science class could work as an elective. And what's really exciting about having that freedom to explore other options is that within your electives for a degree, you can actually complete another credential. You could complete a certificate. So by taking the same classes that work towards your degree and a certificate, you could have 2 credentials at the end of your degree. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit about some of those in a few minutes. It's also important to note that for our Bachelor of Fine Arts students, for our Bachelor of Music students, there are additional requirements as well, and different requirements. So that includes exhibits, performances, etc. So lots to kind of know about. But if you keep in mind those 5 different types of requirements, it can kind of help you to understand how to choose classes depending on what you're aiming to major in, or how to choose classes, even if you're just kind of exploring and not sure what your major is going to be just yet. So how do you find out which classes fit with which requirements? It's all done through the course and program catalog. So I've got some screenshots here that are layered on top of each other so that you can kind of get a sense of where you want to go on the web to find the course and program catalog. I think Sahil's going to put in the chat the link. But you'll start off with the course and program catalog 2021-22, this year's catalog. You'll want to click on colleges and schools on this page, which will take you to a list of all of the different colleges and schools at the University of Saskatchewan, including the College of Arts and Science, circled here in red. You'll click on that. Next, you'll see both programs, like a program list button, and also academic policies. So it's important to note that here is where you will find a link to all of the different policies that you'll need to know about as an arts and science student. You'll click on program list, and that will take you to a list of all of the 60 plus programs. So there's just a sampling here on this screenshot. If you click on one of those, say history, you will get to the history page where you will see admissions and academic policies, contents, programs. If you click on programs, that will take you down the page to a list of all of these different programs that history offers, including a Bachelor of Arts Honors, a Bachelor of Arts 4-year, a Bachelor of Arts 3-year, et cetera, et cetera. So if you click on the 4-year, which is probably the most common pathway that students will kind of work towards, you'll see all of the different requirements. So those 5 requirements I just spoke about, the college requirement, the breadth requirement, the cognate requirements, the major requirements, and the elective requirements are all listed here on the side. You can click on those to see a list. And in this case, with history, the college requirement is only going to be 3 credit units. And that is because the English language writing and the Indigenous learning requirements are part of the history program. They're part of the major requirements. So you will have to, oh goodness, I don't know why that stopped sharing. My apologies. So you will have to complete the quantitative reasoning requirement in order to complete the college requirement, and so on. So you can click on any one of these and find out exactly what courses to take in order to complete those requirements. And they'll all be listed underneath these drop-down, sort of nested drop-down menus. The bottom line here is that I encourage every single one of you to explore the course and program catalog. It's going to be a bit overwhelming at first, but by clicking around and checking out different majors and checking out different degree requirements, you'll start to see a pattern. And that pattern is in those 5 different degree requirements, 5 different kinds of requirements. And the differences will be in the actual courses you could take to fulfill those requirements for different majors. So that's kind of your first place to start when you're thinking about what classes am I going to take. Megan, over to you.
All right, thank you. It is a pretty common question, and many of you are probably sitting here in our virtual space thinking, what if I don't know what kind of degree I want? And that's entirely okay. You're in very good company because arts and science is about exploring your options, finding out what you like, what you love, and what you really don't like, and creating your own pathway to the future. And I think what's really great is the different opportunities for you to take classes that sound interesting. There's a lot of classes that we offer and subjects and disciplines that you probably have never heard of, but you're intrigued and you're curious, and we want you to take those classes because once you start taking those classes, the degree will follow. You will find the things that you're passionate about. You will realize that there are problems in the world that you really want to solve, and everything will fall into place. But if you're not sold on what I just said, and that's entirely okay, we recommend that you hang out today and attend one of our final group advising session. And there will be some more structured advice on how to pick and choose that first year class adventure. If you're willing to consider it as an adventure, there will be some opportunities to figure that out.
Okay. So at this point, I think we're going to also have Megan share her screen in order to hear a little bit from you. You've heard enough from us for now. We'd like to hear about you all. There's about 113 participants in this session. So Megan, I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to ask you to go to menti.com, which is in the chat, and use the code 73936973. And from there, you're going to be able to share with us where you're joining us from today. Hopefully this will start to populate soon. We'd love to see where you're from, where you're coming to us from. I don't see any students going there though. Oh, there we are, Swift Current, Saskatoon. Okay, excellent. Wonderful. So we can see kind of real time where everyone's joining us from. This is awesome. All over the world, Thailand, Sri Lanka. I can never read these fast enough. It's always constantly moving. Some from Regina, lots from Saskatoon. Great. From Pakistan, from Vancouver, Warman. It's so neat to see how people are from far and near. That's great.
I feel like Saskatoon has taken over.
It has this time, yeah. This is
the Saskatoon crowd is loud and proud.
Oh, Richmond, BC. There you go. Megan's from BC too, so, but from the island. Good. Megan, do you want to throw up the next Menti as well?
I do. You will be watching me queue it up in real time. When my computer restarted at the beginning, it restarted every bit of the screen, or that was not proper. English is hard at 4 p.m. It restarted my Menti. So same website, menti.com, but the code, I think you can see it, is 59774800.
Yeah, we want to know how many of you know exactly what you're going to major in.
There we go.
How many of you are exploring your options? That's perfect timing. And how many of you don't know what a major is and need some help? I thought for sure.
3, Erin.
3, that's pretty good. Wonderful. And here I always Oh, there we are. What's a major? I need help. Yep, yep. And that's okay. You're in the right place if you're not sure. If you're not sure what to major in, or if you're not sure what a major is, you're in the exact right place. I also like to always tell students here at this point that even if you know exactly what you want to major in, usually about, I think it's like 60% of students who start out knowing exactly what they want to do end up changing their mind. That's really, really normal. So we always encourage a little bit of exploration no matter what. I know that was the case for Sahil. Well, I didn't know exactly what I wanted, but I had an idea and I changed my mind several times. Megan, you changed your mind too, didn't you?
I did. I think it was a running joke that I would wake up and have a different major each day. Um, so I'm still probably very much like that. I wake up and see something, it's just like I want to do that. Do I get there?
Like I change mine every year at the start of every year. Don't plan on changing it going into my 4th year though.
Good.
I think it's staying stable now.
Yeah, yeah. So what's really nice about arts and sciences, once you're in the college, you can pretty much switch to whichever major you want. There are the only real exception to that where there's, you know, some other processes to go through are with the biomedical science majors, but certainly there's a lot of freedom to switch and move and change and a lot of different pathways into different majors. So it's good to see how many of you have a clear sense of what you want to study. That's excellent, but always be willing and open to changing your mind. So we're going to go through all of the different disciplines that are kind of offered in arts and science. So these are disciplines wherein you can major. These are also disciplines that you can take courses in to fulfill breadth requirements, electives, or just to explore out of interest. Pretty much any class you take from arts and science in your first year can work towards any degree program you ultimately want to achieve. So we'll start with the humanities. The disciplines in humanities focus on the critical, historical, and cultural aspects of human experience. Or sorry, human existence. I guess experience and existence are anyway. So that includes philosophy, history, English, French, languages, religion and culture, classical, medieval, and Renaissance studies, women's and gender studies, etc. Well, I think that was exhaustive. Then we have disciplines in the social sciences. My cat is joining us today. So the disciplines in the social sciences focus on how people, communities, and societies function. So here's where you find sociology, psychology, regional and urban planning, what Megan's major, political studies, Indigenous studies, international studies, archaeology, economics, linguistics, and so on. So those are kind of social sciences. And no matter what your major is, you will probably be taking some social sciences, some humanities, and you could possibly be taking some arts, some fine arts courses as well. So disciplines in the fine arts focus on creative art that can be appreciated for its imaginative, aesthetic, and intellectual content. So these areas include art history, drama, music education, and studio art. And within studio art, there are subjects like painting and sculpting and photography and printmaking. So there are lots of different opportunities to explore interests that are kind of on the side of what you're studying or as a main focus. Disciplines in the sciences are vast in our college. This list focuses on biomedical, technical, and natural sciences. So you'll see within this list, I won't read them all off, you'll see areas like computer science, areas like the traditional biology, chemistry, physics, areas like hydrology and toxicology. Psychology makes it onto this list as well because, of course, you can do a Bachelor of Science in Psychology or a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, depending on what areas of psychology you focus on. I do want to point out that the biomedical science program includes 5 different majors as well to focus on. So you could focus on, if you were doing biomedical sciences, biochemistry, microbiology, and immunology, cellular, physiological, and pharmacological sciences, biomedical neuroscience, interdisciplinary biomedical sciences, or biomedical foundation. And these majors, this program is coordinated and delivered in partnership with the College of Medicine as well. So for students who are thinking about going on to either research or practice in health sciences, this would be a great foundation. I also want to quickly mention certificates. As I mentioned earlier, certificates are a really great way to add a second credential for, I guess, with some of the credit units or the courses that you'll be taking as electives. It's a great way to explore a different area of interest, or a really great way to add some experience that might help tailor your degree or just your experience toward a career option or to a professional college. So certificates can be completed either before, during, or after a degree. Students can count certificate courses toward degree requirements. So the courses you take for a certificate can also work towards your degree requirements. Typically, certificates require between 5 and 10 classes. So that's between 15 and 30 credit units. And arts and science certificates include all of the following. There should be 16 there, I hope. I believe so. Yeah, lots of different options there. So if you wanted to, say you're aiming for the College of Law, you might think about pursuing a politics and law or ethics, justice, and law certificate. If you loved band, if you're in jazz band in high school and really want to continue on with your playing, you could do a jazz certificate alongside any major that you're doing. So lots of different areas to explore with certificates. I'm going to pass it over to Sahil to talk about the co-curricular record.
So the co-curricular record is this really cool thing in my eyes, where it is an official record that you guys can, it's like a documented record of all the things that you've kind of done at the College of Arts and Science and at the university. So for example, the Arts and Science Student Union, if you guys join it, you guys get an entry in the co-curricular record, and then what you guys can do is you guys can print it out and give it to employers like a verified list of activities that you've done while at university. So it's a really cool extra bonus, almost, I like to think of it, that the university has for us. The next thing is these research and experiential learning things that I kind of started alluding to earlier. So you have these amazing undergraduate research opportunities. There's FIRE classes. I think there's like CURE classes for the biomedical science program. So there's lots of different opportunities for undergraduate research. I know I've done some myself, and it's really rewarding, and you really get to apply what you're learning. And that kind of applies same for field courses, internships, performances and exhibits, all these things. You really get to apply what you're learning and study abroad. Hopefully, if it comes back soon, that'll be another wonderful, wonderful opportunity that you guys will have.
Perfect. Megan, over to you for learning communities.
All right, thank you, Sahil and Aaron. One of the additional experiences that you can get involved in that first year is through our learning communities program. So in the College of Arts and Science, we have 3 first-year learning community programs: the University Transition Program, UTran Learning Communities, the Indigenous Student Achievement Pathways for Indigenous students, and the first year learning experience or flex learning community. So we'll explain a little bit about what a learning community is, and then I'll highlight the features of each of the learning communities. So a learning community is a small group of first year students, anywhere from 24 to perhaps 30 first year students who take classes together and they share some common interests. Learning communities were ultimately designed to help students ease that transition into university by providing them with extra opportunities to make friends, study and explore some ideas together, and then work together to develop academic and personal skills to succeed in university. And so how that is done is through the Learning Communities Hour, which has 3 main goals. I guess the program has 3 main goals. It is to build community, and that happens in the LC Hour with a close-knit learning environment with that cohort of 24 to 30 students that you'll see in that LC Hour weekly, but also perhaps some of those names in your classes or some of those spaces in your classes, depending on the delivery. Exploring Careers, which happens through the engagement with alumni. So it's very often that alumni, faculty, so the instructors, researchers, university staff, so people like academic advisors and career services, and other people will be invited to your LC hour to give talks, to interact with you, to share advice, all that kind of stuff. And then the third goal is enriching academics, and that happens through peer mentorship. So each of the learning communities have 2 peer mentors who are assigned to guide you through that first term of university. So a peer mentor is somebody like Sahil, which you met earlier, 2 upper year students who, hi Sahil, have done very well in university, and they're very enthusiastic about helping you with that transition. And so they will guide you through that first term, and depending on the program, there are some opportunities to continue on into second term, so you can have a full year of peer mentorship, a full year of learning communities, which I think is a really cool experience. So the program that I work very closely with is the first year learning experience learning community, and that is open to any first year student entering the College of Arts and Science in the fall. So I would guess that's pretty close to all of you, if not all of you in the WebEx space. So Learning Community comes with a package of courses, and those course combinations of each Learning Community are designed to complement the programs that you're interested in, the career paths that you're interested in, and those pathways to professional colleges, so things like medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, law, vet med, nursing, and things like that. And those popular first year courses that are prerequisites for those colleges or required for arts and science degrees are included as part of those course combinations. So first year biology, chemistry, English, psychology, Indigenous studies, computer science, mathematics, philosophy. I could keep going, but if you're interested in signing up for a learning community, sign up has been open for well over a month now, but sign up does close tomorrow. It is tomorrow, June 9th, at 11:59 Saskatchewan time, and that would be your final opportunity to sign up for a first year learning experience, so a flex learning community. One of the other learning community programs that the College of Arts and Science offers is a specific program for Indigenous students. So Indigenous students in Canada have First Nations, Métis, or Inuit ancestry. And the ISAP program streamlines their course offerings or their learning communities through social sciences, through studies in fine arts and humanities, and through STEM programming. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And then they also have STEM accelerators. So these 90-level courses are meant as preparatory courses if you either didn't take these courses in high school, or it's been a little while and you need or would like some opportunities to brush up on those foundational skills before embarking on those first year at university courses. So if you're interested to sign up for an Indigenous Student Achievement Pathway Learning Community, you would apply to the University of Saskatchewan and opt into ISAP. So ISAP and Flex are opt-in. So students get to say, hey, this is a cool opportunity. I want into that. And so they opt in or elect into these programs. And then after that, you would meet with a TMC advisor. So TMC stands for Trish Montour Center, which is a separate but affiliated office within the undergraduate student office, and you would work with them to select the best ISAP learning community for you. And so I'm going to pause just for a quick minute. If you're interested in ISAP, please take a screenshot or a picture of this slide so you have the contact information so you can follow up with the ISAP team. And then the final learning community that I will introduce you to is the University Transition Program, and that is an alternate admission category into the College of Arts and Science. And that is for students who are under the age of 21 and their high school grades do not represent their academic potential. I'm giggling, and I know we're recording. I made a joke about the picture last week, and I look at the picture and I'm just giggling about the joke I made. But knowing that this recording may go somewhere, I'm going to keep my giggles to myself. But the University Transition Program provides a supportive and close-knit learning environment that helps students make that jump from high school to university, because lots of students think high school is a different ball game, or I guess university is a different ball game. And it's true. I think university is different, not necessarily harder than high school. We think that everybody is capable of succeeding at the university. So students in the transition program can register in a maximum of 18 credit units, which is 9 classes. Oh boy, just kidding. There's 9 credit units or 3 classes per semester. And the course combinations, similar to Flex and ISAP, are designed to complement academic programs, career paths, and pathways to professional colleges. So I'm going to pause again for anybody who is interested in the university transition program to take a picture so that they can get the UTRAN team's contact information. But I do also want to stress that UTRAN may be something you want to tell your friends about. Sometimes high school doesn't go the way we want it to, and we're a little bit nervous those high school grades. Thank you, Sahil, for putting the link there. But those high school grades may be preventing us from coming to university. So definitely take down this information about the university transition program.
Cool. I am just going to add, just for some context, the photo there is of Catherine and Paul, who are our academic advisors who are dedicated to the transition program. So that's what that photo is. It's a picture of our colleagues who are there to really support students who are in this program. So dedicated coaches and advisors for this one. Sorry to interject, Megan. I just had to offer some context around the picture.
No worries. So I guess as a high-level overview, Flex, UTRAN, and ISAP all have that weekly LC hour and opportunity to interact with peer mentors weekly. I think where they begin to differ is registration for Flex closes tomorrow, so May, June is the registration period. But for UTRAN and ISAP, it does differ. So UTRAN for September admission, there you can sign up between May and August. And if you're perhaps thinking January is a better time, there is a January intake option. So registration for UTRAN would be between September and December. ISAP, their registration is currently open and will close sometime in August. The admission average for Flex and ISAP are regular admission into the College of Arts and Science, so that's a 70% or higher. The University Transition Program is a high school average between 60 and 69.99, and usually if your grades fall below that, you would be contacted by the admissions office with this alternate pathway into the College of Arts and Science. And the icing on the cake is that value-added programming. So within Flex, there's opportunities for academic skill building, and if you really enjoy your experience, we do have Level Up, which is a second-year learning community that is going into its second year. So watch for that next year. UTRAN has that dedicated staff and academic coaching. You saw the picture of them on the previous slide. And then ISAP has course tutorials, so some content supports and culturally relevant programming.
Okay. I think this is Sahil. Can I take pause?
Yep.
Yeah.
So PAWS is your personalized access to web services. And I always think that's such a cool name. And I always forget that's what it stands for, but PAWS is super cool. And I'm really hoping you guys are at least somewhat familiar with it. And if not, you guys are at the right place. So PAWS is where, most importantly, you guys are going to register and search for your classes in a couple of days if you guys are not in a learning community and doing so already. You also get to access your USask email and calendar. So your NSID, like 3 letters, 3 numbers, so ABC 123 at usask.ca is a personalized email that you guys get. So you guys also get to stay up to date on what's going on in the college and what's going on at USask. You guys get your arts and science channel, you pay your tuition and fees, and you guys get to access Canvas, which is pretty much where all your classes will be housed. And there's so much more. So if you guys have not been on PAWS, I encourage you to do so. And on the next slide right here, in just a second, this is what PAWS looks like. So you guys maybe have seen this and didn't realize it was called PAWS for a sec, but this is PAWS. So I'm going to point out that yellow arrow over there in the top corner. So it says Aaron's PAWS. So there it'll say your own name, not Aaron's name, hopefully, unless you're in Aaron's PAWS. So the other thing that Aaron kind of pointed out is she circled email and calendar. So if you guys have not already done so, please go take a look at your PAWS email. You guys probably have something from the university saying hi at least. Really important. You guys got to check that all the time because all university communication happens on that email. The other thing is that lovely search bar at the top there. So if you guys have a question about something and you don't know where to look for it, good starting point is go into pause, type it in. So if you're looking for registration, type it in registration, and then you guys can save it on the side there. So Aaron right now has WebEx, OneDrive, and a bunch of other things. You guys can have registration, tuition and fees, my textbooks, all that stuff right there. And under announcements, which you guys can also personalize as to what you want to see, super cool. It's all the up-to-date stuff, what's going on at the university, and there's always something going on. So there's always a cool announcement there. So make sure you guys check that out and keep checking it like at least once a day. Or yeah, it's awesome.
Perfect.
So
Okay, so
now,
you're going to do a registration demo for us, yeah?
yep, I am just signing into my pause right now because that is super important. Oh no, this is not what your pause. Okay. Can somebody get me a second? Because I don't know why I ended up here.
There's no, you're fine. You take your time, Sahil. We have some time.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm back. So this is when you guys are looking at pause and you click that registration tab. This is where you guys will kind of go, and hopefully you guys can see my screen. Please do not ask to annotate the screen because I can't let you guys do that right now. But when you're going to go register for classes, you're going to go here, but we're going to start ahead in this plan ahead function right here. So really important, make sure you guys register for the fall and the winter term at the same time. So I'm going to go into fall and open up this plan. So I already started creating this for us, but I'll show you guys how to search for a class here. So right below, you guys will see I added music, philosophy, anthropology, and this is what my mock schedule looks like down here. And right here, I'm going to search up physics. Now, I'm not really sure what the course number for physics is. Like I know it's Music 101 right here, but don't know. So I'm going to search and Physics 115. That sounds like a great starting point for me, Physics in the Universe. So I'm going to click View Sections there. So what I'm seeing over here is there's a couple of things I want to pay attention to. So first is that meeting time. It's right here. This one's showing me that it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10:30 to 11:20. And I know that does not work with my schedule. So I'm going to go here and look at this one. But the other thing you want to pay attention to is this attributes section, which Aaron's going to talk a little bit more about a little bit later, but I'm just going to give it to you guys really briefly. So you want to look right here for class taught remotely. That means that this physics class that I'm registering in will be taught remotely. So you don't have to come to campus for this one. And the other thing is this lovely blue linked. That means that there's another section, class, lab, tutorial, something that I have to take with this physics. So I'm going to click required links, which while it loads, it'll be a lab. So I'm going to go through and look for these lab timings. There's lots of labs, and I like this Monday night lab, 6:30 to 9:20, and it is a class that's taught remotely. So read the attributes, it's really important. And also, if you guys can't get in, make sure you guys check the seats, and there are actually seats available. I have made that mistake before. So you're going to hit add, and right at the bottom over here, it was added, and I'm going to go save plan. So now my plan is saved. So when you go to your actual registration date, you're going to hit register for classes. I'm going to select the fall term for now. And you guys can either search for those classes here. You guys can enter the CRNs there, but I'm going to hit plan. So CRN is that course number, and it's right here. It's next to all the classes, so you can just enter those if you save them. But I'm just going to hit add all on this plan right here. It says register. I'm going to go ahead, hit submit, and it's going to register for me. It's taking a little bit, and then if I do need to drop a class, I can very simply hit drop. I'm going to drop that music class, hit submit, and that music class was dropped. So there's the basics of registration for you guys. Make sure you guys check out those attributes as Erin pulls up the slide, and she's going to talk a lot more about those attributes. They're really, really important this year, guys. So make sure you guys check those out.
I'm also just going to say that there are some video tutorials on how to search for and register for classes. And I'll just maybe ask Megan or Sahil to drop the link to those video tutorials into the chat. And I will, so you know, this is by no means exhaustive, right? This is just a taste of what you need to learn. So I will talk a little bit about attributes, because attributes are especially important this year. This year in the College of Arts and Science, some of our classes are going to be offered in person and some will be offered remotely. And so the way that you'll know whether a class is offered in person or remotely is by looking at the attribute. So what you'll see if a class is taught remotely, like Sahil showed you, is under the attributes, it will say class taught remotely. This little attribute that says on campus or remote student fees, that doesn't tell you whether it's remote or not, but the class taught remotely does tell you if it's remote. If there is a classroom that is assigned, so if the class has a classroom assigned, that will also indicate to you that that is an in-person class. If there are classes that have days and times assigned, you know that some component of that class is going to be synchronous, meaning that you'll have to be present, whether it's, virtually or in person. You'll have to be present at that particular time on those particular days. Okay, so here are the key points to remember about attributes on courses for this year. The attribute that says on campus or remote student fee does not tell you if the course is offered remotely or on campus. It's a fee category that distinguishes that course, the tuition for that course, from the tuition for, say, a course that's offered through distance education, which is a totally different category. If a course is remote, you will see the following attribute: class taught remotely. If a course will have any synchronous components, so components where you and the professor and the other students are going to be together, whether virtually or in person together at the same time, there will be days and times listed, and you will not be able to register in other courses that conflict with those days and times. This is also important. If there is a room assigned for the course, my husband is barking, my apologies. 1 second. Sorry, we'll just have to push through with my dog barking in the background. My apologies. Somebody's walking by with a little dog. Anyway, if there is a room assigned for the course, it will contain in-person classes. Some courses will have remote lectures and in-person labs. My apologies, just 1 second. Okay, and the last key point to bear in mind is that both flexibility and patience are key, as attributes may be in flux before registration opens on June 12th. So for the next few days, as you're looking for classes, if you don't see an attribute or a room number, just bear with us. Those attributes should be in place by the time you go to register for classes. So my apologies for that disruptive presentation of those attributes, but moving on. If you are interested in chatting with a current student about their experiences, and I think this is actually a really great thing to do, you can do so through our Chat with a Student webpage. You just go to artsandscience.usass.ca/chat with a student, and there you can find out from some of our current students. We have a few on that site. What their favorite class was, what classes they took in their first year, or what they most like about studying at the University of Saskatchewan or in the College of Arts and Science, or how many times they changed their major, all kinds of questions, or their favorite study place on campus. You can chat with a current student if you're looking to connect at this stage, and I'd encourage you to do so. I'm also going to briefly talk about the Summer Challenge, which gets going this week. It'll probably be June 10th rather than June 9th, because that's tomorrow. The Arts and Science Summer Challenge is a way to connect with the college throughout the summer between UStart and orientation, to get to know some of your peers, to make some friends, to build skills that are going to help you to transition to university life, to become familiar with our learning charter and career competencies, and to really grow a sense of belonging to the community and a college identity with each other, with Arts and Science alumni, so recent graduates, and with faculty. So all of you, in virtue of having signed up for UStart, will get an invitation to join the summer challenge through Canvas, which is our LMS. That's where all of your classes will be offered through, I guess. And so you'll be getting familiar with Canvas through the summer challenge as well. So I just wanted to let you know about that, what that is. And lastly, we're going to have just a few minutes here for some questions, I hope, just a few minutes before we move into the live Q&A, which is hosted on the Chat with a Student platform. So I'm going to stop talking now, and maybe what I'll do is I'll ask Sahil if there are any questions in the chat that maybe any themes that have come up that maybe we want to talk about here.
Yeah, for sure. There's lots of, I guess, just registration questions, and I just want to maybe give this one more time just for everybody. So when you're looking at the classes and you're going to register your plan, when you hit register, you'll get to that page where I took you guys. When you hit register again, there's like register now type of thing. When you hit that button again, you'll see on the top it says like search, CRN, or plan. So if you click plan, then you click add all, it'll add your entire plan, and then you're good to go. So I think there was a couple questions about that and lots of confusion there. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but you kind of do it once. Like once you get a feel for it, it's not that bad. You can also find your username for pause is your NSID, and you can do the summer challenge if you're not residing in Saskatoon. It's online, which is really cool. So we'll have students from all over the world that kind of take part in the summer challenge as well.
Yeah.
Erin, I'm going to go over to the other session. I'll see you guys there.
Yeah, you head over to Unibuddy and I'll be there shortly. I just also want to make sure that those video tutorials are linked here as well. Megan, do you know if a link went up in the chat on those?
I think it did, but I can go pull it again.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. So I know that we did a very quick, or Sahil did a very quick overview of how to register, but rest assured, you can learn this stuff with the video tutorials online. The challenging thing in arts and science is that we have so many different programs and every program has so much choice. That's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing, but it can be overwhelming when it comes time to choosing and registering in your very first set of classes. It will be frustrating. It probably will. I mean, that's, I guess, the price we pay for having so much choice. But I can promise you that by next year at this time, you're going to be an expert. And really, you're learning quite a bit in just learning how to navigate this system. We're also here for you. So there is this academic advising session, a group session that's going to be offered in about an hour's time at 6 o'clock. There's also the live Q&A. So if you have additional questions, I would highly encourage you to join our live Q&A session. I'm going to post the link to that in just a moment here in the chat, where you can chat with me and Sahil, as well as some of our student ambassadors. And then beyond this evening, we are recording this session, so we will post it. And beyond this evening as well, you can contact an academic advisor for an appointment. I know that they're very busy in the UGSO right now in the undergraduate student office, but here's a little tip. If you go to book an appointment with an academic advisor on a Monday, you will stand a very good chance of getting, or a better chance, I should say, you'll stand a better chance of getting an appointment. So check back on Monday to book an appointment with an academic advisor. Thank you. Academic advising has been posted. The link to that has been posted in the chat. I think that's about it. What do you think, Megan? Shall we sign off?
I think so. If your question wasn't answered, I think we're very happy to get the student perspective on those questions in the chat with a student session, bonus session, complimentary session.
That's right. And yes, this will be posted somewhere. It will very likely be posted on our arts and science new page. I'm losing my mind here. I'm going to just find the link to our new students page.
It's the new students page, or do you want the first year students page?
Sorry, the first year student page, yeah.
Cool, I got it.
Oh, you got it. You're fast. You're so quick. I just got there now. But you can post that. So that's where this will be posted eventually. It'll take us a few days probably to get it up there, but that's where it will be posted. So
Erin, I think I have one more thing to mention. I'm sorry.
oh, that's okay.
Okay, for those of you who are registering on Saturday, we do not normally work on Saturdays, but the advising office will be open for that Saturday morning if you were to run into any registration issues, as well as Student Central. As far as I know, they will be open, so you will have a couple of reference points if you receive this wild registration error and you're like, huh? You will have some opportunities to speak with staff to help get those sorted. So I don't know what the best contact information is for that though, which, but I would say I'm going to post the link to Student Central at the very least.
Yeah.
And then they can triage from there.
Yeah, Student Central. There's one more question about LC student. When can LC students register? Yes.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, as of yesterday. So if you've, and I'm just going to put one more plug. There is another LC Learning Communities registration info session as part of UStart on Thursday. At what time?
12 p.m. in Saskatoon time.
12 p.m. So you can register for that session at on the UStart page as well. So I'll just put the UStart page in there, and then I'm going to hop over to our other platform. Start. Yeah. Oh, by the way that I navigate our website, because there are a lot of pages on the University of Saskatchewan website, is I just Google whatever I'm looking for. I just Googled USask, UStart, and I came up with the exact page that I wanted to share with all of you, which is here. So you can register for that Learning Communities, how to register in classes session on Thursday by clicking on that link there. So we'll hope to see many of you over in the live Q&A. And thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks, Megan.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.